Well, hello there.
What's going
Welcome.
on?
Welcome back to Civilization, Dirk.
Yeah, it was sad to come back, but it's nice to
Yeah,
be in your own bed, but it's kind of sucks when you're not out on vacation still.
yeah. Dirk was, for those who don't know, was out in Hawaii, one of the smaller islands, sunbaking in a banana hammock.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I was on the island of Kauai and just got back late last night and had a good time. Yeah, it was a
Yeah,
good time. So we missed the show last week because well, I was on my way to Hawaii last time. So we kind of skipped last week and came back this week.
yep. And, glad to have you back. Glad you made it back alive. No stingray accidents like on the, you know, crocodile hunter. Nothing
Nope.
like that.
No, I don't get in the water much. I did get in the water. I went in the pool. I went in the ocean, but I
Yeah,
like to just look at the water a little more than just hanging out in the water.
yep. So
No,
I thought
Stacy, I did not get too much sun. It takes a lot of work to stay this white.
I asked him
Okay.
that earlier too. Like, did you get sunburnt? And but no, I guess he did the whole long sleeve shirt, right, and all that stuff. Yeah,
Yep. Long sleeve shirt the whole time, big brim hat, my umbrella hat for part of it, and yeah, zinc and SPF 50. It
We
worked.
have Alice Paracord in the house. We have therapeutic edge in the house. We
What's
have
up?
Stacy. We missed you as always. We're glad to see you as always. And yeah, let's get this show cooking. So honestly, guys, because Dirk was coming back from vacation, I didn't really know if we were going to even do a show today, if he was going to be too tired, but he's like all on board. Let's do this. So I brought out a bunch of random gear and we're going to just talk about the gear that you might expect or expect not to bring out with you on vacation that EDC items that we may think is overrated, or maybe EDC items that we think are fantastic ideas you may not have thought of. So,
Mhm.
and while we do that, I wanted to promote a new review coming up soon on a Seiko cocktail time. So to do that, I'm not going to talk about myself or my selfish channel needs, but I am going to say go subscribe if you're not subscribed already to me and Dirk. And I am also going to I'm going to make myself a Black Russian because this is the Black Russian edition. So we have the Kahlua and assorted things. I'm going to let Dirk start talking about his vacation carries while I make myself a nice drink and hopefully get maybe a little buzz. I don't know. But anyways, go on, Dirk.
All right. Well, you have fun with that. So I did a video before I left on my main channel of what I was taking with me, and then when I got there, like what I did in the video is really what I did take. I took 3 watches with me. I took one, two, three, four, 5 knives, 6 knives, and 2 flashlights, and 1 pen. So I think I went a little overboard because I didn't wear. Well, I wore all the watches, but I really carried 1 knife most of the time, and I wore 1 watch most of the time. Um, and a couple of people thought it was a little bit over the top what I took. So I took, and what I wore most of the time was the ceramic Planet Ocean. Because of the rubber
Nice.
strap, it just really wore the best in the humidity there. I also took the Rolex Air King on the plane with me, and I wore this really just on the plane there and on the plane back. And then one day I did wear the Grand Seiko GMT, but because of the bracelet, it just didn't really wear that well in the humidity. So, I did take a pen with me, the tactile turn titanium pen that I actually never took out of the suitcase. It
So,
just
Dirk,
stayed in the suitcase.
why is that Air King a great watch to carry on vacation?
I like it. And yeah.
It's all about that pilot theme, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a piloty theme, not really. I mean, but it happens to be the watch that I've worn every time I've flown since I bought it.
Nice.
So now for me, it's my flight watch. If that makes sense. But really, the Planet Ocean GMT was the watch I wore literally 95% of the time. It just wore so great in the humidity over there with the rubber strap.
Right.
I did take 2 flashlights. I took both 2 Olights, the i3Ts. One is the donut theme and one in Damascus. And I went back and forth on those. I think usually it was the donut themed one. It's a little bit lighter than the Damascus one.
I saw you carried the battle out there.
I did. I took the smaller battle because I bought it from Eric and he had taken it the last time he went to Hawaii. Well, his first time to Hawaii. So I figured I would take it also. And this is the knife I carried the most there.
And that is a ballsy move, my friend, because of all that salt water out there. Is like,
yeah, I just don't care.
Good, right?
The what?
It came back great though.
It came back just fine. I totally forgot to do the hourglass there, so switch that real quick.
Cool.
But yeah, I carried it the most. This is just, man, I love the battle. I loved my first battle. I still have that one right here, but this one is a little bit bigger and a little heavier, so it doesn't carry as well. But the little one, man.
Sorry, guys.
This one just got a lot of pocket time there. I actually took a budget knife, the Kubi KB237, which I never once carried.
You never carried it?
Nope. Never carried it. I probably won't take a budget knife like that next time I go. I don't know.
Well, when you're on vacation, you want to get like fancy with it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe, I don't know. I don't think I'm a snob, but maybe because I carry more expensive stuff most of the time now, and I don't really like to carry the cheaper stuff. I don't know. I did have the CJRB Milea.
I saw you brought that.
That was in the little inside pocket of my swimsuit. When I went on the tubing thing, when I went to the ocean, when I went to the pool. And yeah, it just like lived in my pocket, like whatever. It was just in that little pocket inside, your swimsuit.
Yep.
It was all good.
Very nice. Very nice. By the way, this Black Russian here is
that tasty.
Nice. It's very nice. Smooth, a little coffee, a little sweetness. But, I do have to say that
somebody wants to know what you're making.
The White Russian is just an add of cream and milk. And me being French, we like our stuff au lait. So, yeah.
Oh, Mike is sending me more fixed blades. All right. Thanks, Mike. I got to film your other. I think I got 2 more of yours to film. I think there's 2 fixed blades left to film that I'm going to do this week while I obviously do.
Mike has a very, he has a wide variety of taste, which is one thing I like about the knives he sent you so far. They're all pretty interesting in their own, like he's got a good selection of stuff.
He does. He's got a very good collection, and there's one fixed blade that I'm super excited to film. It's the one I was hoping he was going to get bored with and just to hang on to it when I send everything back, but I doubt he's going to do that.
Very good. Well, let me bring out some things that
we got a quick question from Detroit Spartan. What's up, dude? So Alex was born in France. When did you move to the States? Or did we lose you? Because it seems like we lost you. All right. Well, Alex will be back in a minute. He was, I don't remember when he moved to the States. We'll get back to that once he comes back. And Tony is sending some more fixed blades from Odin's Customs. I'm unable to take vacations. I'm here for the companionship. All right. Well, vacations are overrated. They're expensive. You need time to relax once you come back. That's why we came back yesterday, so I'd have today to relax before I go to work on Monday, tomorrow. Now Alex is really gone. I guess that drink took him out. It was a Black Russian that he was making. So the other knives I did take with me on vacation was the RJ Martin Q36 SS. It got a little pocket time. And the custom Hellraiser from Red Horse Knife Works. And this got a bunch of pocket time too. It was really this and the Battle were the two that I carried the most. And then I was talking with Ed Kim, the owner and maker of the Hellraisers while I was there. I told him I took it with me or brought it with me to Hawaii. He was shocked. He goes, dude, that's a lot to take with you. I'm like, yeah, I just, what are you going to do? I put them in little zipper pouches, stuck them in my suitcase, and hoped my luggage didn't get lost or nothing got stolen from TSA. And it worked out. They made it all the way to Hawaii, and they made it all the way back home. So, what are you going to do? I like to have nice stuff with me when I go. That second knife, was that this one? Prato 24. This is the first custom Hellraiser that Red Horse Knife Works ever made. They sent it to Jim Skelton for a video years back. Jim said, I'm not sending it back. What's it going to cost me? He bought it. He sold it to another buddy of mine, and I bought it from that other buddy recently. And I absolutely love that knife. It gets a lot of pocket time. Oh, the one before that. This one is RJ Martin. Fat carbon fiber scales, magnet cuts for the blade. Handmade custom from RJ Martin. This is a new acquisition I got right after Blade Show this year. The guy who bought it at Blade Show did a trade plus cash deal with me on another knife. It's really cool. It's really slim, so it carries really well in the pocket. It's like Sabenza style slim. So it's super nice. I love that one. It carries really, really well. Oh, he lost his internet. He'll be back. Maybe. All right. Well, you just got to listen to me ramble then. Hopefully that's okay. What else? Let me take a look here at the comments and see what we got. Tennessee Mike checking in. What's going on? Can I get a link to Dirk and Alex's main channels? Hey, Stacy, can you throw links up again? I think you did it earlier on, but now that people are here, that's awesome. The Q36, I absolutely love. It carries great. I don't love the mirror polished blade on it. I mean, it's not quite mirror polished, but it's a little more polished than I typically like. But I do like it. Tony says there's a custom Hellraiser for sale on Killer Customs on Facebook. Really? I better not go look. Hopefully it'll be sold before I get there to look, because I have a bit of a Hellraiser problem. And I'll give you a little sneak preview that at 6 o'clock my time, in like 45 minutes, I have an unboxing happening that may or may not be another Hellraiser. I don't know. So yeah, it's a problem. Take a look at these other comments here real quick. Which watches did I bring to Hawaii? I brought I wore the Rolex Air King on the plane, both directions. And there's a bunch of glare because, well, it's a flat crystal. I took the ceramic Planet Ocean GMT, which is a freaking awesome watch. And I did take the Grand Seiko GMT, the SBGN something 003, I think. I don't know. I can't keep track of the numbers with Grand Seiko yet because it's my first one. And honestly, I wore the Planet Ocean 95% of the time. In the humidity and everything, it just wore the best. You know, you kind of swell up a little bit in the humidity and it's a little bit sticky there. So the rubber strap worked the best. And then I wore the Air King on the way back home. Mike says he loves the RJ Martin because of the Magna Cut blade. Sure. Is Magna Cut all it's cracked up to be? I don't know if ever anybody knows yet. I don't think it's been out long enough for people to really know if it's everything that the inventor says it is. I don't know. I don't use my stuff enough anyway. I open up some boxes. You know, what are you going to do, right? Oh, great. Tony tagged me in the custom Hellraiser on Facebook. Sure. Thanks. Great. Like I need another custom Hellraiser. Maybe I do. Maybe I don't. I don't think I do. I need to be. I think when I was on vacation and I took only a few knives and a few watches, I came back or even on my way back, I was talking to some friends. Detroit was one of them while I was there, about maybe I don't need all the knives and watches that I own. I could probably go down to maybe 2 or 3 watches. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying I promise like I am, but like just off the top of my head, I would definitely keep this Planet Ocean, the ceramic Planet Ocean. It's awesome watch. And I would certainly keep the Rolex Air King. I don't know. Could I do 2 watches? Could I have a 2-watch collection? I don't know. Maybe. Knives? I don't know if I could get to 2, that's for sure. I could maybe do 5 or 6, maybe. I don't know. What do you guys think? Dirk, you've given me, Mike Ye says, Dirk, you've given me the inspiration to collect a certain way. Alex called you the Fisher of Fishers. I'm going to be the Fisher of Herman Venoms. You know, I do have the 2 Frank Fisher battles. And I do. That's a good question or a good comment or thought. Do you guys collect the knives or do you collect the maker? So I have a bunch of Hellraisers because 1, I like Ed Kim, the owner. I like the style. I like those things. So I've collected a bunch of Hellraisers. I like Frank Fisher Battle. And so I have 2 battles. And I've got one from Todd Fisher Sr. I've got a couple from Todd Fisher Jr. So I like the family. So I've collected a bunch from them. So I think, and I know, you know, you can do that with watches also. If you like Rolex, you collect a bunch of Rolex. I have a friend who's got a couple of Rolex. When I say a couple, I mean a bunch. So you can collect brands / makers, or you can just collect what you want. There's no right or wrong way to collect anything. Hobby, you know, whatever the hobby is. So let me take look at a couple of these things. Anthony says 2 to 3 watches, bite your tongue. Detroit Spartan, I think you need 2 more watches, Rolex. But there's a couple of Rolexes that I want that are on my list. There's a couple. There's too many Rolex on my list, but one of them is the chocolate dial 2-tone Yachtmaster. Totally on my list. Sky Dweller, 2-tone Sea Dweller. just to name a couple. Tony says 5 or 6 knives. Yeah, right. Okay, maybe not. Oh, great. Alex is completely out. There's no internet there. All right, well, we'll try to keep it going here. It's tough without my sidekick there. Stacy, I have a favorite maker and designer, but mostly knives that speak to me. Knives that speak to you is great.
I'm back.
Oh, thank God. Stacy lost internet. Stacy, I have a favorite maker. You gotta mute your YouTube there. I collect whatever strikes me, and I won't hesitate to buy multiple versions from the same brand or the same style. See, that's a great way to go. I have at least 5 or 6 Hellraisers. Some productions, some customs, and stuff like that. So
crunk tonight.
I have no problem collecting multiples of a certain thing. Mine are all different. There's none that are exactly the same, but I think that's a great way to collect.
Well, that's kind of the way I collect. I mean, you've seen my collection. There's a little chunk of everything. Like there's Spyderco's here. There's a little bit of few Benchmates here. There's a couple Sebenza stuff here. There's like a little bit of everything, and that's what is fun for me. I appreciate those collectors that are just collecting nothing but one thing, you know, or Black Snow Custom collector, or a Kurt American collector, or Spyderco collector. Whatever you may be. Even look at Zach's stuff, right? He's a Benchmade collector, but he's got every Benchmade known to man and probably worth like who knows how much. Like you can be any kind of collector you want. And me, I've just decided that that's not my route because I wanted to taste a little bit of everything. And so I just
agreed.
I can't afford to buy like everything of everything. So I just pick the few things that interest me from Spyderco, the few things that interest me from Benchmade, and so on and so forth. And I think that's really cool.
Agreed. And yes, Detroit, if I did a Halloween thing, being Hellraiser would probably be a good thing for me. Halloween is probably my least favorite holiday, but that's okay.
It's one of my favorites.
Mikey says, yay. Mike says, do you guys notice prices going up for knives and watches?
Absolutely. Oh my God, I'm glad you brought that up because that has been an effing shock. And I've been complaining to Dirk about it a little bit. Like, I was like, holy crap, Dirk, do you see this? Like that knife used to be like $1,500. Now it's like $3,000. Like, and some stuff I see for sale, I don't see the extra $2,000 in value myself. I mean, even $500 for a Spyderco, unless it's a really cool one, you know, like that's all becoming more of the norm. Whereas, you know, I'm stuck a few years back. And by the way, I apologize if you guys hear my daughter crying. She's not having a good day today, but my wife's
that's all right.
So, but yeah, like absolutely. They are way going up. What do you think, Dirk?
I agree. I mean, and some of the stuff is going up and it's okay. Like, yeah, this thing, it goes up over time. Yeah, I'm not a problem. But other stuff, I think there's some other custom makers that I've seen where their price, I think they're getting too big in the head, maybe.
I think they're just
and their
throwing
price is going up just because.
I think they're just throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. They're like, I wonder if somebody will buy it for $3,000 or somebody will just buy it for like $2,000, right? Like I'm not going to say any examples of that, but that's kind of what I'm seeing. And then, you know, like even the Knife Critic on Instagram, if you guys don't know who he is, he's been on there for a while. He's a character. He was making fun of the fact that, you know, like the secondary market has gone completely out of whack, double, triple the table price on some customs. We're talking like, and we're not talking like we're playing with thousands. We're talking like $16,000 knives, were made for 6, you know, things like that. And I'm kind of with him, you know, it's like, wait a minute, what happened? That's not even cool, because if anybody should get those kind of proceeds, it should be the maker, not somebody who's profiting so hard off the maker's name that they're going to push and inflate the entire value of the knife, or try to.
Right.
Slice of Knife is another guy that is very popular in the knife community, but does that like crazy all the time. And I don't mingle with that market. That's all I'm going to say. Like, I don't encourage it. I don't mingle with that market. I do agree that makers can charge what they want to charge, but so I have no problem with the price listing, but that's going to deter me from buying something if, you know, it's not just gone up because of inflation, but it's tripled or doubled like overnight. So,
I agree.
Yeah.
What's up, Will?
What's up, Will?
Yeah, I think some of the makers are just, like you said, throwing a number at the wall and seeing if somebody will buy it for $3,000, $5,000. And it's really
the Putin price hike. It's the damn Putin price hike.
Yeah, is it worth that $5,000 that somebody paid? I mean, I guess it was worth it to them. I've overpaid for stuff.
Me too.
Like
many
I
times.
Have on purpose.
Many times.
Because I wanted that thing, whatever it was, because whoever made it, whoever owned it before, there was some history to it. I wanted it. They threw out a price. I said, sure, no problem.
Right.
Should I have negotiated? Should I have thought about it more? Absolutely.
But I think
it's okay.
I like this comment right here because my daughter was crying. This guy said, your daughter hates Spyderco.
I think you were talking about Spyderco at the time. So
yeah, I was. That's why I'm laughing. Yeah, that's a good one. You know, she probably hates some of them. I think a lot of people hate some of them, but it's kind of where one of the brands that I started with was Benchmade and Spyderco. These two guys right here.
Yep, I think a lot of people do. And Will says it's worth what you'll pay for it. No one is wrong.
Absolutely. But
I mean, you're right.
But I think it gets obnoxious at a point in time. Like there's a certain limit for me, and I choose to keep quiet because I think that's the right thing to do. But inside, if you're wondering what I'm thinking, like, yeah, I think it's obnoxious what they've been doing with pricing.
And Detroit says Alex's daughter doesn't like Halloween.
Now that you are completely wrong, because for her, it's Halloween 24/7. 36 or 365 days a week. She loves Halloween. It's her favorite. She's always singing Halloween stuff. Anyways,
that's crazy.
Oh, and she loves to watch Ghost Adventurer with me, with Zach Bagans. Yeah,
alrighty then.
Spooky stuff, yeah. Anyways, speaking of which, do you have any Halloween themed videos planned, Dirk? You better.
No.
Come on, man.
No, I don't.
You have all those Hellraisers. Ooh.
I'm not that fancy like you.
Why not?
Because editing takes time and energy.
Don't edit. Just put a bunch of lighter fluid on it and set it on fire. That shit will sell on the internet. It'd be like, just bring us fire extinguishers. You can put it out real quick. And you can cut that part out.
Yeah, okay, maybe.
All right, enough good ideas from me. So
Detroit loves the candy part of Halloween.
I like that part.
I get it.
But it's scarier to take candy from a stranger nowadays, is it not?
Yeah, right? Like, should we really be like, think about that? And Will says the blacked out cobra is my hollow carry. Dude, that blacked out cobra,
that's a sweet one.
Freaking tastic.
Yeah, go check out Dirk's video on that one, guys, if you haven't seen it. That's a good one.
Loved that knife. I probably would have cranked the pivot down a little bit because it dropped shut a little bit too much for me. But that was an awesome, awesome knife. And I hope you still love it.
So I am going to go back a little bit since I got cut out. I have all this crap here on my table, and I think we should talk about what to bring out with you on vacation as far as watches and knives and gear and shit? What do you think?
No, I agree. Let's get back to that. I mean, I talked about what I took, and you guys in the comments, what have you taken on vacation? What would you want to take on vacation? What do you think you should not take on vacation?
Mm-hmm. So I am going to start bringing out some stuff.
Ah, and Will did crank the pivot down a little bit, but it's still pretty drop shutty. Okay.
I don't mind drop shutty if the knife was just intended that way from the maker. But,
Detroit says it would be scary to take candy from Dirk dressed up like Hellraiser for sure.
Pinhead.
That's a true point. True statement.
So one thing I think that depending on who you go to on vacation with, like if you sometimes you go out of town with buddies or you go like hiking and you'll like go camp overnight, you know, a deck of cards is something always useful to bring on vacation, in my opinion. You know, I got little fancy ones too to look cool and whatnot, but I don't know. Depending on where you're going, what do you think? A deck of cards useful?
That's not a bad idea,
right?
I mean, I think a lot of times what you take also determines where you're going should determine a little bit what you're taking, right? If I was going out backpacking, I would have taken totally different stuff.
Absolutely. And
but you know, just going to Hawaii to hang out at the beach and whatnot. Yeah, I took what I took, but yeah, I think that does play into who are you going with and where are you going.
Right. And a deck of cards is fun because it doesn't take a lot of space in your luggage. And Correct. Even, you know, like me and my wife get bored in a hotel room and literally have nothing but a bottle of wine and some activities for later. We could start with a deck of cards.
There you go.
So the next thing I thought was kind of neat, and maybe some people have thought of or not, a little strap. A little strap you can kind of put in your suitcase for your knife. If you're only going to bring one little pocket blade or whatnot, and you want to touch it up like in between, it's something you're actually going to use while you're out on vacation. A little mini strap with some compound, and then you know you got the bare leather on the other side if you want to touch it up. Not a bad idea for something to bring out to you or with you on vacation. I don't know. What do you think?
For me, I wouldn't take one because I'm not going to mess up anything. I'm not taking a strap. I don't strap. I don't sharpen. I don't do nothing. I got friends that do that. My stuff gets shipped out to them.
Okay.
Will Carey wants to know, what is that strap? Like, he wants to buy
this. Okay. Well, actually, I got this. I don't know. You probably go on their website. I'm assuming they sell them, but it's from Blades Made USA. And came with actually bought a hinderer from them, and it came with this little strap for free. So I actually have a couple because I've bought a few knives from them before. But I thought it was handy, cool. You know, it was something a little handy, and it works really well. Like that green compound's good stuff. So I know it literally does remove some metal off the edge. It does a nice job.
That's very cool. And Will would also take snorkeling gear with him to Hawaii. My girlfriend took her snorkel gear,
right?
Because she actually has prescription mask.
Oh, interesting.
That she got years back because she wears glasses.
Right. I never thought of that for some reason, but
so she had a prescription mask made, I guess, and so she did take it with her. I don't remember that. I don't think she pulled it out and used that with her stuff, though. I don't think she used it this year.
Right.
But so, yeah, Will is a big diver, snorkeling guy. He's got dive knife. Like, he's like a hardcore diver.
Does he have? So I wonder if he has one of those wasp knives, the one where you inject like a can of like compressed oxygen, and like if a shark comes attacks you, you can stab the shark. And with the trigger,
know if he's got that one.
Like,
he does. Whoosh. He did loan me a titanium dive knife once.
I remember
that I got to do a video on, which was kind of cool. Like, you know. So Mike says, "Hey Alex, how long on average does it take for you to do one of your videos?"
Oh, that's a good question,
That's
man.
a great question, Mike. I will tell you. One, I don't know exactly how long. I don't want to guess yet. I'll let him tell us. But two, I guarantee it's way longer than it takes me.
Yep. That's the answer. Yep. Um, you know, if I were to sit down and I had all the material, like everything, like all the cuts, the edits, like everything I need to put that video together, which I've done it that way once, I was able to edit, cut, overlay, export, cut, overlay, export again, and do all that, like a multi-layer video, maybe in like 2.5 hours.
But that
But
is not
the
filming.
right, and that was already like the filming's over. That's all the material, just cutting and editing. And that was like hauling ass and not being too detailed and just trying to put the shit together and get it out. So, but
What's up, Nap?
if and realize that I've been doing it for a year now, so I'm getting faster at it. When I first started, and Dirk knows, because I would share him a piece after it's edited and say, "Hey, look at it now," and this and that, and like it could take me like 2 weeks to put a video together. You working on it every day, and the way I look at it is, if I don't like it, I just stop right there and I go back to the drawing board and I start over. And even if like my last video gap in between this last one I did was like a month and a half, and it was just because I was a little extra busy at work, but it was also because like I wasn't. Sometimes you have like writer's block a little bit, and you're like, well, I'd rather wait till I come up with the right idea for this. But then you're focused on like this one object that you're going to review. So it just all depends, man. I just, unlike people who have like a schedule, because they're like chasing, some are chasing the algorithm, some are, set schedule because that's how their channel works. Some are, I don't have a set schedule. So I just kind of post it when it's ready. Sometimes I'll even take a week off of doing any YouTube anything, and then I'll go back later on and start doing a video, and it'll take me another week. So, but on average, I would say that where I'm at right now, I'm gonna say that the part that takes the longest is looking for the clip that you're looking for. If you're like maybe stealing a clip from a movie, or like looking for a track to overlay on the intro part. And if you notice, a lot of those intro parts, I cut it goes with the beat. It's kind of like I do it like a DJ does. And coincidentally, I used to be a DJ. I played vinyl and CDJs and all that stuff. But yeah, it takes a lot of time.
Vinyl. Wait a second.
Yeah.
Vinyl. Some of the people might be younger. They may not know what that is. It's like a record.
I still have them.
Grooves in it.
I still have
plays
them.
with like a little needle, and it goes around and around like it's an LP. It's like a vinyl record. People may not know what that is. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And yes,
but thank you for
right. Some people are in it for the money.
But thank you very much, Mike. I appreciate the nice comments. I'm glad you like the production value of it. Yeah, I try to do a little something different each and every time, so there's no like set rhyme or reason why one video like follows another. I always try to do something different. So
yeah, and there's no really, I mean, I don't think there's really a wrong way to do it. Like Alex just posts a video when he's ready and it's good and it's done. I started out doing a video a day because I thought that was what I wanted to do, and that's what I've done for 2.5, almost 3 years now. In December will be 3 years, I think. And that's just how I do it. Other people do it once a week or every other week or whatever. There's no real wrong way. Just don't turn out to be a whore and try to make money out of it. Like I think if you just do it, eventually there will be some money made. But I don't know.
I think that's a good thing you're bringing up. That's a pet peeve of mine too. But I used to be more like people who are in this YouTube game that are really just pushing like money, right? Like subscribe to my Patreon, do this, do that, you know, send me
Mm-hmm.
money, do my lives and all this stuff, right? And I don't have a problem with it, but that's the side of the community I generally tend to gravitate less to, because
Right.
those people are doing it and it's fine. They share content, they spend time doing it, and they want to get paid. Perfectly cool. The channel
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for is more enthusiasts. I'm looking for
Right.
people who are doing this for fun, because
Mm-hmm.
that's the kind of opinion I'm looking for on my gear. Like somebody who's not, it's not about the money, it's just about like what's in your pocket and what's in mine. Let's share, interact, and have some fun. And there's a lot of reviewers out there. I think it was started that way, but with all the opportunities that YouTube gives people, you know, it's tempting to want to go that other way. But for me, my entire thing, my entire huge knife box that sits behind me is completely 100% funded by me for the last 10 years. And
Yep.
that's pretty much my material, except for a few friends like Jiro or Dirk
Mm-hmm.
that will send me a few things. And that to me is just the way I do it. As a matter of fact, I'll tell Dirk, don't send me too many things. I tell Jiro the same thing, although Jiro never listens. Don't send me too many things because I need to dig into this box. I only have 52 videos. Imagine how much more
Right.
content I have to do. So, you know, but I do like to check out some of Dirk's stuff because let's face it, Dirk's got some really cool shit. But, you know, yeah, I need to like get on my stuff too, of course. So I know you mentioned a few O lights, Dirk, and
Yep.
like I like flashlights. A couple of the ones I thought was cool to bring out was like this little O light of my own. I mean, forget the American flag, although that's pretty
Yeah.
damn
Yeah.
cool, right? But aside from that, like it is a really awesome little light, and I think these are really cool to bring out because when you're on vacation, you're not in your own element, and a good flashlight might be good for you to be able to find your stuff wherever you put it. And you know, you don't want to wake up your wife in bed. You just want to grab
Yep.
your knife out of your bag and go flick it on the balcony while you drink something like a beer. And yeah, flashlights are great for any of that sort of stuff. I like flashlights also. I know it may sound like too much, but there's flashlights out there that will give you this UV light. I think you may or may not want to bring one of these out because you can see how clean your bed is before you're going to sleep in it. I don't,
Yeah. I did not bring
right?
a UV light. I have a UV light over there on the table, but I did not bring one with me on vacation because sometimes I don't want to know.
And you know, to be frank, this little Ravon light, I cannot wait to review or do a video on this thing. I've had this thing for over a year. It is so cool. I mean, it glows in the dark forever. So, like, after you're done using it, it's easy to find in the dark and all that stuff.
Oh,
All
that's cool.
tons of modes, very recharges super fast. So,
And
flashlights are great.
yep. And going back to your DJ days, apparently Detroit Spartan says they still make records there in Detroit.
Nice. Nice. Well,
Like,
Detroit was one
wow.
of those places known for record production, depending on what you
Founded
were
by
into.
Jack White from the White Stripes, a Detroit native, actually.
Very
Wow.
nice. Very
Yeah, I think
nice.
records are coming back. Like, my girlfriend got for her daughter a little record player thing for Christmas last year or something. I think records are kind of coming back.
Well, here as a heavy duty, like, music has always been a part of my life. My grandmother performed in the opera in Lyon, France. Everybody in my family plays an instrument, including my
Do you play
daughters.
instrument also?
I do. I play. I have a Gibson Les Paul. I have a Fender Stratocaster 1992 that I've had since I was 14. I have an acoustic. I played bass. I've had a Pearl drum set, and I also play guitar. Not just guitar, piano as well. A little
My
bit of classical
brother,
piano.
my brother plays guitar. Always has, ever since we were kids, and he's got, I don't know, a dozen are laying around the house and hung up on the walls and stuff like that. So
I only
very
have a
cool.
couple, but
I don't
they've
know how
been with
many he
me a
really has.
long
He's
time.
got several.
Yeah.
And there was a comment since you mentioned France while you were offline. Somebody had asked when you came to the States.
Oh, I came to the States when I was 10 years old, 1990.
Okay.
Yep. And came here not speaking a lick of English. My parents just threw me into school.
Oh boy.
And, you know, did pretty good. You know, I speak pretty good English now, you know? So, yeah.
Will says, have you seen the new OD series Les Pauls?
No, I have not. I have not been a part of that world because I do not want to be tempted to buy anything else. I already have two nice guitars, and I don't want to I'm very faithful to those two guitars. I've gotten very comfortable with them. Like the muscle memory of my fingers on those two electrics are just, and they're very different because one's got a very tight fret pattern, the other one's got a very wide fret pattern, and both the Strat and the Gibson sound completely different. But yeah.
Yeah, Detroit
I
says
do
it sounds like you were born here.
Yeah, most people do. Although once in a while, people ask me about an accent. So I'm sure I would say every once in a while there's a word or two I might, do something different with.
Stacy says her great grandmother on her mom's side was from France.
Very nice. Very nice. The more the merrier.
And you've been back. You've been back to France since you've been here too, yes?
Yes. One time I did, but not very often because it's been busy. As soon as I graduated high school, I was military. After I did that, straight to the dealerships. And, I think now I want to take my daughter out there to go meet her French side. So, what's up, Knife?
He's not musically inclined at all. Neither am I, man. I tried to play the guitar because, my older brother, who I kind of idolized as a kid, I think that's a common thing.
Yeah.
He was playing guitar and singing and stuff, so I wanted to sing and play guitar, and it just didn't really work out. I was better being the sound engineer in the back. So
that's cool too. That's what I would want to do now as a musician.
Yep.
I would want, that's where my interest is. And that's probably why I'm doing all this editing, is because the engineering portion of either putting the videos or the music together that goes with it is part of my interest. That's why I like doing that stuff. And then, speaking of NAF, what the hell happened to the sergeant part? Because I saw the video, and then he said everybody's doing it.
Because everybody's changing their names. Oh, this is a great comment from Al. I can't even tune my knives.
Yes.
I don't mess with my knives either, honestly. I mean, sometimes I've taken some apart for some videos and stuff. But I try not to even do that anymore. It's just, I don't really enjoy doing those videos.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't think they come out very well. I don't think they come out very well.
I thought they were cool.
Because I get confused. I don't talk much because I'm focusing on putting it back together or taking it apart. And then there's just this big, long silence as I'm putting it together and just,
Well, that's why
I don't really want to mess with my knives.
See, I'm about to, I got a video, might come out tonight, maybe tomorrow, where I do a first look at the new Invicta 1953. And then I also do a portion where I show people how to, which everybody probably, or a lot of people know, but just kind of showing how to resize it, right? A pin and color system. So I got a video coming either tonight or tomorrow for that one. I'm almost done with it. But in that video, it was kind of the same thing. It was just me kind of showing how to resize it and do this whole thing. And then towards the end, I show a couple knives and stuff like that. And
pin and collar bracelets can be tough.
They're a pain in the butt, man.
They are.
But this one's got the one with the arrows, which shows you which direction to go.
Way. And that helps.
And then the pin's got that little flared tip, which a lot of people put in backwards. And that's a huge mistake because The
Yes.
pin needs to go back exactly the orientation that it was intended to.
And then some watches, the collar is kind of
Loose.
captured inside the center link. So if it's captured in there, you're cool.
Yeah.
If
So the
it's
Invicta is
loose,
captured, but like the Seikos, it's loose and it comes out, and then you have to like fit them back in. There's usually 2 of them, right?
or you drop it and it goes ding, ding, ding off the floor, and then you're done.
Yep.
Done.
Exactly.
That's what happened to me the first few times. Luckily, I was shrinking the bracelet, so I had some extra links, so I had extra collars and pins, so it worked.
Right.
When I went to sell it, I'm like, yeah, I got all the links, but not all the collars. And I sold that one.
I've thought about that too, because I have a small wrist too. I'm like, man, you know, like I need to keep that stuff really like together and not lose track of it, because reselling them is going to be hard with like a 6.7-inch wrist.
Yeah, just keep all the links. What I do typically is I put them in like a small Ziploc bag, all the links. And the screws or the pins and collars or whatever, you know, mechanism it is, put them in a little Ziploc bag in the box with, you know, the rest of the watch paperwork and all that. And then that goes into a plastic bin that goes in the garage. So, and hopefully you don't lose the stuff.
What other questions we got?
Let me scroll up here and see what else we might have missed.
Another thing that I think, by the way, while you're looking for a question, that is a good thing to bring out on vacation is going to be a multi-tool, like a Victorinox, something with like a bottle opener, right? Like a knife, something like this might be really cool to bring out. And Dirk actually reviewed this one. This is the one with the pocket.
Yeah, that one was cool.
Carbon. It's pretty cool. I mean, it's a basic bitch one.
Yep.
Nothing special about it, but I just pressed some fat carbon scales on it, and then it's got this cool clip, right? But like multi-tools, even some of them have like little built-in flashlights and stuff like that.
Right.
They might be really useful to bring out, you know, especially like sometimes you get something, there's no utensils with the food or whatever when you're out and about vacationing. Depending on what kind of, if you're not doing a fancy hotel, you may want to bring some of that stuff.
Beard of Doom.
Beard of Doom. How can you forget that name?
Dude, it's such a great name.
It is. It is.
Such a great name.
I picture this beard that's on like in it's like in fire and it's blue, like blue flames.
He has
Purple
a channel.
Blue flames. Oh, I gotta go check it out. I didn't.
And
even
it
know
is just the beard. Like it's like. You see just the beard and the knife.
I'm going to have to go and check. I'm going to check your channel out tonight. I didn't even know you were a reviewer, man. But yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, he does
like just some basic stuff. He's going to send me some knives and stuff to do more in-depth. It does like first impression stuff and whatever. Maybe Stacy can find his
Stacy post his channel link posted up. Another thing,
Beard of Doom, Stace.
Another thing that I thought was really great to bring on vacation is sometimes, although like you're bringing a Rolex Air King and things like that, sometimes a G-Shock might be a great thing to bring out, right? Like something with like multiple time zones, a timer, an alarm, all built in. Nothing super expensive, you know, but like a G-Shock, or even maybe like a metal G-Shock, one of these solar atomic time ones. Just a grab and go watch might be really cool to have too.
So Beard of Doom says that you should start with the hot dog in the shower video. I'm just
okay. So if you want me to start with that one, do me a favor and send me the link to my Instagram, the Watch and Cut channel. Yeah, just look me up there and send me the link, and I will start with that one like you advised me to.
Yeah, I'm going to leave that right there. And let's go to a real question here from Mike. Is anyone going to Blade West next month? Now, Blade West, I believe, and I'm going to look it up over here on the other screen.
I'm still laughing about the hot dog, man.
Is October 7th and 8th? Yeah, in Salt Lake City.
Oh, it's in Salt Lake.
Yeah,
So
it's at Salt Lake
Jiro's
City.
going to be there.
So Jiro might be there. Ed Kim from Red Horse Knife Works asked me the other day when I was in Hawaii. He goes, "Hey, are you going? Because I'm going to be there." So I don't know.
I'm probably not going to be there.
I'm
I'll
a
do it if it's
solid
in
maybe.
Cali. Yeah, I'm not going to be there for sure.
Because that's like 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, I'm not ready for that.
I don't know if I'm going to be ready. And then the California Custom Show is when? The 28th, 29th? Or 29th and 30th?
Something like that. Something like that. That one I might go to. Anybody going to that one, I would be interested.
Yeah, is anybody going to the California Custom Knife? Oh, and then Al says he's going to the AKI. I emailed them asking for an invitation, and I haven't heard back yet. Because our other friend Chris, that Alex and I know and talk with, he's going to that.
Interesting.
So I would kind of like to go to that one. Chris says it was crazy that there's like 50 people that get in and there's like 50 makers. Like there's more makers than there are people that get in.
Oh, interesting.
To the AKI. That's the Art Knife Invitational.
Yeah.
Al, have you been to that before?
No, I have not. My daughter's about to bust in, guys. Just warning you.
No, I'm asking Al if he's been there before. Let me look up when California Custom Knife Show is.
So I didn't know Jason Brown's family, and but Stacy posted a GoFundMe, so I think it's a good cause and a good thing to bring up. So yeah, you guys can definitely go check that out. I think that's kind of a nice thing to bring up. Excuse me 1 second, guys.
Yep. The California Custom Knife Show, I'm not seeing the date. Oh, because I went to the spring one. I think that was the first time that Chris went to AKI also, Al. I'm trying to look up over here on the other screen, the California Custom Knife Show. Spring and fall. Maybe this will show me. Fall is October 22nd and 23rd. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to make either of those. I'd like to go to Blade West, but I don't know if I'm going to make it in 2 weeks.
Thanks, Beard of Doom. Yeah, my daughter is adorable. At
Dirk,
times.
EDC Sebastian will be here in a few days. Should have a package coming your way in a week or two. That's perfect, Beard. That's great. Naf says he most likely is not going to make Blade West. I might try a day trip out to CCKS, though.
Yeah, I think I might do CCKS this year because I always have a few friends locally that go there.
Yeah.
So, I think
I might try to fly down for that, like on the 22nd. Just fly down in the morning and fly back in the afternoon, maybe.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I can give you a ride back and forth like last time.
Yeah, I might try to do that. Because I'd like to go down there because I'd like to see you again, of course, and my other buddy Tristan, who has a battle also. He's got a couple of battles also.
Yeah, the knife show is pretty cool. You'll usually see like a lot of Shiros, a lot of like high-end custom stuff there.
Yeah,
and I hardly ever buy anything there because the raffles. It's not really my thing, but it is pretty cool to see all that stuff, and you get to talk to the makers. That's the best part. Hang out with your friends. So that's the best part.
And the guys from Shark Nivco are usually there, and I like to hang out with Eddie.
That's right.
Those are like I kind of just go down there to see them. I hang out with them a lot. So.
Yep. Those guys.
I may try to make that one. I don't know. Oh boy, Mike says, please, somebody ask Peter Martin how my knife is. I was
just about to click on that.
I might actually have somebody else reached out to me today and is sending me a box of knives, and there might be a Peter Martin in there, and there might be a Corey Martin in there.
Interesting.
And some other very cool stuff that we'll get to when the box comes in.
So what do you think about depending on where you go on vacation, about bringing slip joints as well, right? Like something like a non-locking knife, depending on knife laws and depending on where you go, might be a good idea. Something like this.
Yeah.
I know you're not a slip.
I'm not a slip joint guy, so I don't even. I own one or two, and depending on where I'm going, like if I'm ever gonna go out of the country, which I've never been out of the country, I have a passport that'll probably expire before I even use it to go out of the country. That's a different story. But yeah, if I was going out of the country, I might look into something and see what are the rules wherever I'm going. And Bearded Doom asks how far I am from Mike Emler. I'm about 7 hours from Alex, and Alex is probably 3 hours from San Diego.
Yeah, 2.5 really.
So yeah, I'm like 7, 8, like 9-ish hours to San Diego, give or take.
Yeah. I think I ran into him last CCKS actually. I think that's where I ran into him at the Olamic booth.
Yes. Yeah. Will says a new Red Horse, Dirk. Yes, there's a video on my main channel that's coming out like right now of a new Red Horse Knife Works that came in the mail while I was on vacation.
I almost bought one of those, man. I saw him.
All right, Detroit, thanks for joining in. Go get some sleep.
Good night, Detroit.
And since the video is going up right now, I'll show you guys here. But you gotta promise to go watch the unboxing video. It's 1.5 minutes. You guys can go watch.
I'll watch it.
Give me a view. Give me a thing, like make comment, all that stupid stuff. But since we're all live here and we're all friends, it is a fixed blade.
It's a fixed Hellraiser.
It is a mini fixed Hellraiser.
That is a cool one.
That's pretty cool looking. It's all blacked out. It's a second, like, so he gave some deals because the Cerakote, or I think it was Sarah or deal, I don't know, whatever. The coating on this has a couple of runs in it on, well, I guess it would be the lock side if it were, on kind of the back side. You probably can't see it with the lighting. I'll show it more in the regular video. There's a run in the coating, so this was on a discount, so I figured I'd grab it.
I actually like sometimes shopping for some of those what do they call those, defect models or whatever?
Yeah, a second defect, whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know about the sheath though. I'm not in love with that. There's no clip. There's no nothing. I guess I got to figure that out, how I'm going to carry it. But am I really going to carry a fixed blade? Let's be honest. Probably not going to carry it.
That's actually small enough to carry, though, if you wanted to. If you want to do like an appendix carry.
He actually says that this is the perfect small fixed blade to carry, like a perfect size to carry.
Yeah, looks good for that, I think.
Naf is waiting on the Red Horse kitchen knife. Yes, so am I. And I'm sure he's going to send me one. And I'd like to go see him at Blade Show West so that we can talk about that. I am also waiting on one more custom Hellraiser from him.
Yes.
That will be the last custom Hellraiser. That we've got some pretty good ideas and a lot of good thoughts of something that's going to come together pretty awesome when it happens.
So Mike requested I show some of my ZTs.
Okay.
I think they're accessible. Stuff's packed so tight.
Has the runs.
Yeah.
Alex shows some ZTs. Back pocket carry for the fixie. Maybe. I put my phone in my back pocket and my pen and my other phone in my other back pocket. So I don't know. You got to have two phones, right? Social media efficiency. It's tough to find all those memes. Beard only carries a fixie on his motorcycle. Yeah, I had the motorcycle. I did the motorcycle thing years ago. I'm not mature enough for two wheels. I'm just not mature enough to have a motorcycle. I drive enthusiastically enough on four wheels. Let's just leave it at that.
I did dirt bikes when I was younger. I like dirt bikes. Those were fun.
I only did dirt bike once or twice. I had street bike back when I was 15, 16.
some ZTs. So here's a ZT 0454. This one I really, really enjoy actually carrying quite often.
I'm following you, Bearded Doom. I'll follow you on Instagram and YouTube. I'm 99% sure. I'll double check.
You better be.
I should be.
So this is actually a really old school ZT because it's out from a long time ago. They made a couple iterations. They made a single, like a mono steel version of this that was all blacked out. It's only for Russian market. And this, you know, in pictures, a lot of people might assume it's bigger because it's got the subframe lock than the 0452, but it's actually pretty much the exact same size as an 0452, which was one of their really popular models. So that's one. I think I'll show one more.
Man, I get Bearded Doom says I'm not following him.
That
I will after we're done. I can't believe that.
I don't better be. I'll make sure I am too.
But I mean, I'm not going to argue with the dude, so I must not be for whatever dumb reason.
So this is actually the latest acquisition I've made in my ZT purchases, as I misfire it. But this is the Todd Rexford design ZT. Is it the 0808? I can't remember exactly, but this is nicknamed the Copperhead. And it's got a lot of really cool, different little hidden things about it, like a multicolor, which won't come up probably here, but you can see a multicolor anodization on the inside, and the window says ZT in it. This was a really sought after model all over the years. You can even see there's like some sort of really interesting kind of like color milling in between the liner locks. So a lot of really cool little details on it. But yeah, this is probably like something I've been chasing for a couple of years. It's one of their little factory custom limited editions. Yeah, the Copperhead.
Therapeutic Edge says he just added a ZT0095 in S90.
That is a
very cool.
Fantastic one. That is a fantastic one. This is the one that I think everybody likes to see. I think everybody likes to refer to this one as the unicorn. This is the ZT 777 Damascus.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people like this one. Very hard to find, very hard to get. I think this is my favorite ZT of all time. And this is the one that the Matrix from Microtech, there was like a whole thing about that because they were actually making subframe locks just like ZT from a few different knives, even some of their SOCOMs. So this knife had a lot of hype behind it. It had a lot of story behind it because of the whole Marfione ZT debacle there. And then the last one that I have.
That's Mike's favorite Z2 also. Mike, do you have one?
Yeah.
Or is it just your favorite because you want one?
And I used to have the all blacked out one before I had this one. But then I sold it when I got this one. And I kind of wanted one of the M390, all plain M390 versions for a while. But believe it or not, when I bought that ZT 0454, the same guy sold me the 777 Damascus. Two rare birds in one stone. It was pretty cool. And then the last ZT I own is this one. This is actually one of me and Dirk's buddies that modified this one. This is Sean Campbell. Did this one. He kind of textured the scales. He dark washed the blade, the clip, and I did the dark matter red carbon fiber insert on it, and it's very sharp and very nice to carry. And that is all the ZTs I have left in my collection.
I think I have one ZT. It's the 0450. Carbon fiber. It's small. It was my jogging knife when I was training and doing triathlons years ago. That's the one I just throw in my running shorts and use.
I like that one.
Yeah, it's a cool one.
That one's a Sinkovich design, and
Yep.
I used to have the one actually that if they made a factory custom and they did a set of them with the same Damascus billet that they did out of the 777. So I used to have one of those, but I sold it to make some room for some of the other stuff.
Mike says, thank you, Alex. Well, you are welcome, Mike. We are just here to please the viewers.
Absolutely.
And Bearded Doom says, have either of you put hands on the War Junkie? And I'm assuming he's talking about the Citadel, Todd Beg's Citadel War Junkie, because there was some other War Junkie ones previous to that one, other models. No, we have not, but stay tuned to my channel. Just leave it at that.
Yeah, that sounds like Dirk's going to have one for review, possibly.
I've been working some angles, so I've got a few things coming, and you guys might be a little surprised as what's coming this week.
I'm kind of fascinated.
Peter, a Therapeutic Edge. Yes. He's got some classics, and he wishes ZT was still ZTing. Yes.
So I'm glad, I mean, I feel the same way. I was a huge ZT fan, and you can kind of see by the stuff that I have that's kind of that's my era,
Yep.
And I used to have more of them too. Had a couple other like factory customs, which I kind of regret selling, but not really. I mean, but yeah, like the new things that they're doing nowadays. The only one that I liked that they did recently was when they did this guy in it was a copper and blacked out version. They had like a copper insert on this side, and it had S110 blade steel, which is pretty cool. I haven't seen them do something like that in a while. But other than that, yeah, I haven't seen ZT do anything super exciting, unfortunately.
NAF with the Alpha Beast. You got my address. You got my address, man. I got to check it out. Let me know. Just drop that thing in the mail.
Yeah, that's another.
He is going to send me that one. That's the one that's like 3/4 of an inch thick or some ridiculous thing.
Yes. So, and that's another thing, guys, go check out Knives channel. It's so weird for me to not call him Knife Sergeant.
Maybe he got promoted, and so he had to change it.
Oh, maybe now
maybe that's it.
That's a good point, actually. Is that what it is, Mike? Yeah, you can tell us, but yeah,
Bearded Doom's got some Max Ace coming in.
Collecting. Very nice, very nice. Oh, and last thing I'm going to mention too on vacation, knives that do not rust easy. What do you think?
Yeah, I need to get a better, like when I went to Hawaii last year, I took your waypoint.
I
think it was mine by then. Maybe it was still yours. I don't remember. But I carried a waypoint there.
Right.
Because it was non-corrosive and all that stuff. And that one just kind of hung out in my pocket. It was cool. I just didn't love that knife, so I did sell it.
Fair.
But I've been thinking about getting maybe like something from Spyderco Salt Line.
Yeah, those actually interest me too, actually.
Because I do like Spyderco, and something like that might be good to take.
Yep.
Therapeutic Edge doesn't have anything coming in. Let me know. I can send some stuff to you if you need to, Peter. Too close to Blade Show to be spending the monies. Are you going to Blade Show West, Peter?
I like that one. Take somebody
else's knife to the beach. Yeah, if you loan me something, you never know where it might go. No, I'm just kidding. I don't take stuff out without people's permissions and things like that. I have a couple of friends that when they do send me stuff, even if they're customs, they're like, dude, just carry them and use them and whatever. Oh, so Peter is going to Blade West. Are you guys going to California Custom Knife Show also, Peter, or no, just Blade West? And are you both going? I'm assuming you're both going. I don't know if I'm going to make Blade West. I didn't plan ahead enough, but a couple of people have asked me to go. So, Peter carries the Terrain 365 stuff for beach and wet days. Yes,
That's a good one. That's
a great one to carry.
That's
with
a
their
Terravantium, right?
Terravantium. That's it.
Cobalt style steel.
Crazy alien space age material.
Yes. I have one knife in that that little flipper otter thing that I have. Just to check it out. What's interesting about that steel though is that if you run your finger like kind of like checking how sharp the edge is, it feels kind of blunt and round. But for some weird reason, like if you slide it on there, you can do that stuff is like slicey. It feels dull, but it's actually pretty sharp. It's interesting.
Yeah, the Spyderco Native is the one I was kind of thinking of. I don't even, I've never had a Native. Well, I did have a Native. They did a special Damascus Native once. It was like a something anniversary. And so I did buy one. And I've sent, and what was cool is the hole, the Spidey hole, they sent you that because they cut it out. They don't drill it. They kind of laser it out. And they left me the blank. They leave the blank in there in that special.
Oh, that's cool.
Which was kind
that's the
of
one with
cool.
the it had milled carbon fiber on it, right? Like little lines all milled all over the carbon fiber.
Yeah, it was kind of a cool one. So that was neat to have. So I thought about maybe a salt version of the Native would be cool. And then Will is asking, how hard is it to get an RJ Martin right now? I really don't know. I would say you would like, I think I brought this one when we went to lunch with Will. So I think he's seen it in person. I just don't remember. If not, then we'll get together and you can see it again. Will and I live, I don't know, maybe an hour apart, something like that.
Oh yeah, that's close.
And I love the RJ Martin. It's got a really, it's kind of a hard detent when I first got it, but it's loosened up some, I think, and I've just learned where to put my finger and how to fire it. But it's super slim. It's like Sabenza size in the thinness.
That's pretty cool, man. That's a really nice knife. Very sought after.
It is. They're super cool. This particular one, I wish the blade wasn't as shiny as it was.
Yeah, see.
So I would like a different blade on it. But then Peter talks about the fancy Terravantium steel does not take an edge like a normal knife. It does feel dull, like you were saying, Alex.
Yeah.
But it's got like, if you look at it super close.
Yeah, it's probably a little micro teeth.
It's got micro teeth. It's like a saw blade-ish.
Like serrated, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that stuff really actually it is weird. Like when you cut something with it or you feel the edge with your finger, it definitely has a very different experience than steel. You can definitely tell it's something else.
And yes, an hour apart is California close.
This is true.
Hey, speaking
LA
of
is
therapeutic
like 3
age,
hours apart.
Therapeutic edge, and an hour apart. Not that it was an hour, but is your tattoo all healed? Because he got his first tattoo a couple of weeks back.
Oh, that's right.
When I was in Hawaii, some of the people that I was in the group with, because we went as a big group, 3 of them got tattooed on the island.
Nice.
I have
hopefully not tramp stamps.
No, there was one, 2 on the ankle, on the outside of the ankle, and then one on the inside of the foot, kind of like on the inside of the ankle, basically. And
those are very painful areas.
Yes, those are painful areas on the foot and the ankles. I have not gotten anything in a while. Since I finished my right sleeve, I'm taking a break, trying to come up with a design for the rest of my chest and stomach area, maybe. I'm not sure if I'm going to finish the chest and stomach or start working on the lower back, because I've got the upper back already done. So
you're going to start turning into one of those, you're going to look like a Russian jail guy, you know, like they look in the Russian jails where they're like completely from here down.
Yep. And then you got the bearded doom. It says he has a tramp stamp. Mock it and it'll eat your soul.
My wife has one too.
And a therapeutic edge says he already wants another one, which is funny because 6 months ago, Therapeutic Edge and Women Carry Knives and I were having lunch here in Napa talking about tattoos, where he says, I don't think I ever want a tattoo. I'm not sure what I want. I'm not going to be that committed, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden I see pictures of him with a friggin' tattoo. I'm like, wow, dude, what?
That's great.
It's funny how we change in life.
I actually don't even have a tattoo myself, believe it or not.
Can you really call yourself a Marine without a tattoo?
Yeah, everybody says that, you know. I was just always waiting for the right artist, and I never found them.
I think you should get like you could get a Hellraiser tattooed.
Oh, hell no. Nothing knife related, nothing.
A battle?
No, no knives. No
you know
knives.
The guy you see in the one with the guy who's gotten the Todd Big Bodega tattooed on his arm. I know him.
So the only knife that I would get tattooed on my arm is a USMC K-bar, for obvious reasons.
Turning 51 changed the game. Yes, as we grow old, Peter, things change.
Yes,
I hear you, buddy.
They do.
I hear you.
What a dick.
Nap needs a tattooed.
Oh, I knew that was coming. Yeah.
And then Beard of Doom.
Oh my God.
Tattoos are not required. Diet of crayons required.
Yes. Whatever happened, I hear more of that crayon joke than I do of the jarhead joke, which is fascinating to me, actually. But yes. We are called crayon eaters, and but in all honesty, as dumb as you may think we are, we still always do more with less. So
that's true. So dumb. Peter, I think Peter's talking about his next tattoo already, because he said earlier comment that he already wants one, and so now he's talking about getting a gripper by Jason Grant. I think that's fitting. You should get one. Yep. You love that knife, so I think that'd be a great second tattoo.
Absolutely.
Professor EDC, welcome. The
blade off.
Paradise was good. I'm glad to be home, but hard to be home. You know what I mean? Like, I like my bed, so it's always nice for me. It's always nice to come back and sleep in your own bed, right?
Yep.
Not that the beds were uncomfortable there in Hawaii, but it's just different. I don't know. I like to be in my own space, my own routine, my own things in their own spots, things like that. So traveling for me is fun, but with a grain of salt type of thing.
Absolutely. It's always good to see you, Prof. I'm glad to hear.
And I have a box of knives that I sent to him that's waiting in customs with a few problems, apparently, that him and I are working through, because getting stuff down into Mexico is tough. And we might have lost Alex again. But it's tough to ship stuff into Mexico. They have a hard time buying knives because it's just difficult to ship stuff in.
With the Blade Osophy video.
And then you got to pay taxes and you pay import fees and things like that. It's really tough to get knives into Mexico. So I tried to help him out, and he sends stuff to me, and then I send a box to him and whatnot. But yeah. And then Alex might be back. And Therapeutic Edge says, in truth, the next one is going to be a doomsday clock at 2 minutes to midnight with Tempest fungi under it. I have no idea. I'm lost. I'm not sure what that means, but okay, cool.
Well, before my internet comes out again, I think I'm gonna wrap it up.
Yep, I think it's time to wrap it up. We've gone like an hour and 24 minutes. Jesus, this is probably our longest one, which is funny because I kind of was watching the view counter thing, like how many people are on, and it seemed like more people were joining towards the end.
Yeah, like right now we're, I think, at our peak.
So it's kind of odd. At the very beginning, we had like 10 to 12, and then by 5:30, 5:40, it kind of started to go up. So I don't know. Maybe we got to change the time. I don't know. We'll see. More people just need to join on time and not be late. And more people need to, like, all the people that watch our normal channels should all be subscribed over here too. I don't understand why not.
It's okay if you join in late. We all love you all the same.
Therapeutic Edge, thank you. My Latin is pretty bad. Even my pig Latin is pretty bad. Time flies underneath his 2 minutes to midnight. All right, that looks cool. I mean, that sounds cool. I haven't seen.
And you know, in all honesty, that drinking this entire glass of a black, well, I guess a white Russian, gave me a pretty good buzz. So that was fun.
You didn't get a notification. You must not be subscribed and hit the bell and all that stupid shit you're supposed to do on YouTube.
No, you know what, Dirk? I've noticed people who have the bell notification, even on my channel, sometimes don't get notifications.
Hey, thanks for chiming in, Peter. I appreciate it.
Sometimes there's some weird stuff going on with YouTube algorithms and all that stuff, you know?
Yeah, for sure. So we thank you guys all for joining in. We appreciate it. I know that a lot of people were here from the beginning and then left and came back. It's awesome. We appreciate everybody not even giving you guys a hard time. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks a lot, everybody. Alex, thank you. And we will
Thank
see
you.
you guys in a couple of weeks.
We'll see you.